Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Welcome to What's on Your Faith playlist, where every song tells a story of faith, hope, and God's faithfulness. What's on your faith playlist? Tell us what you hear. The songs that bring you comfort, hope, and cheer. From worship in the morning to praise throughout the night. What's on your faith playlist? Let's shine His light.
When life changes, what happens to your faith? Just listening to that show opener, wow, I feel so empowered and grateful. How about you? This is a brand new show. What's on your faith playlist? I am joined by the star of our show for this pilot episode where we are going to be listening to some incredible music, and we're going to be talking about how it moves us and the meaning behind us. So let's get the show started and bring out our star, Dr. Jerry L. Woodbridge. Welcome to the show.
Woo!
So good to have you. And, you have helped so many people. I'm so grateful that our paths crossed, that you were a guest on another show. And I just knew instantly with what it is that you're bringing into the world, helping people with grief through your book and through your speaking, that this is something that's so needed in the world. And that your faith playlist includes music that people can listen to themselves when they're going through various times in their life. So tell us a little bit about what led you to come up with What's Your Faith playlist.
Well, I know that music has been very empowering in my life. And I think this began in college when I started listening to some new Christian artists that were coming on the scene. And then my faith, so that's going to be the blast from the past section. But then I found that I needed to listen to Christian music because it uplifted and built me up during some of life's challenges, like when you get your first job and you are parenting and, we have illness and things like that happen in our everyday life. So I found that this was something that was very empowering and kept me motivated and kept me encouraged and inspired. And so I wanted to give back to the Christian artists that are playing the music and the lyrics, and also the Christian radio station that promotes it. And so this is just my way of giving back to those.
What a beautiful way to do so. And what's interesting, I feel, is that sports and music bring people together. And even though there's so many things that break us apart, those two things, a sporting event, think about it, across the world, you have people watching whatever it might be, soccer, football, and music, concerts, people come together to just experience the gift of someone's voice. So the fact that faith is involved with this as well in the work that you're doing. What do you want people to know who might be out there and say, well, I don't know, I like music, but I don't want to hear any music that has to do with faith?
Well, that is definitely your choice. So you can turn the knob on the radio station and you can click off of here. But I hope you'll see that the music that I'm promoting actually encourages and lifts up.
I love that answer because we all have a choice, right? We all have a choice. And sometimes I think what's coming up for the person that they have such a strong reaction. So today I'm going to be turning the show over to you, and you are going to walk us through 4 incredible pieces of music that have significance to you. So here I go. I'm passing the baton on the pilot episode, and welcome to your slot as TV show host.
Thank you. Well, welcome to the first segment of our show called Blast from the Past, where we will introduce you to the song and artist you may have listened to Christian radio between 1980 and 2000. Because songs never go out of style, they go deeper and were among the most influential contemporary Christian music hits. So we're going to introduce you to the first song, El Shaddai by Amy Grant.
El Shaddai, El Shaddai, El Elyon Adonai. Age to age, you're still the same. By the power of the name El Shaddai, El Shaddai, Erkom Kona Adonai. I will praise and lift you high, El Shaddai. Through your love and through the Ram, you saved the son of Abraham. Through the power of your hand, you turned the sea into dry land. To the outcast on her knees, you were the God who really sees. By your might, you set your children free. El Shaddai, El Shaddai, El Elyon Adonai. Age to age, you're still the same. By the power of the name El Shaddai, El Shaddai, Erkom Kona Adonai. I will praise and lift you high, El Shaddai. El Shaddai, El Shaddai, El Elyon Adonai. Age to age, you're still the same. By the power of the name El Shaddai, El Shaddai, Erkom Kona Adonai. I will praise and lift you high, El Shaddai. Through the years, you made it clear that the time of Christ was near. Though the people couldn't see what Messiah ought to be, your most awesome work was done through the frailty of your Son. I will praise and lift you high, El Shaddai.
Amy Grant, everyone, El Shaddai. And that's actually an award-winning song, isn't that correct?
It is. It is. But she was not the original artist, but she is the artist that made this song famous. So the chorus is sung partly in Hebrew. And so El Shaddai means God Almighty, Elyon means God Most High, and Adonai means Lord. So this was an unusual Christian song because it had those Hebrew names for God. And that's what kind of inspired me, because I started to learn that God had different names and that they reflected his character. So that's why I was very, very interested in that song, El Shaddai. Did you know that Amy Grant's iconic recording of El Shaddai wasn't the original version? It was written by Michael Card, features Hebrew names for God in the chorus. As we just discussed, it won the 1983 Dove Award for Song of the Year and later was named one of the Recording Industry Art Association of America's choice for Song of the Century.
It's a beautiful song. And what I really appreciate is not just the melody, but the words tell a story.
It
And
does.
so what does that story mean to you? What does it bring up for you?
Well, basically, it's telling us that, that our God, that, the Lord sent us a Messiah to help us.
And you work with people to help them heal from grief and deal with their grief. So this song falls right into that category, right?
It does. It does. Because I think if we know who God really is, a lot of times when bad things happen, people tend to blame God. But, he doesn't always control our choices because he gives us free will. So bad things do happen to us. He just promises us that he will walk with us during that time.
And that can bring a lot of peace of mind and comfort.
I do think so. So our next segment of our show is Faith Tune Up. And these are songs with powerful messages that build our faith and encourages our heart and lifts up our spirit. So what can this song teach us about our faith? And what does biblical courage look like when we're afraid? So the song is No Fear by John Reddick. And we'll go ahead and play that song.
I got enemies at every side. It ain't looking good, I ain't gonna lie. Arrows flying, devils trying to make me think I'm going down this time. You might think that I'd be afraid, running scared with the shaking faith. But the God I know says it ain't over. The God I know is gonna make a way. Yeah, though I walk through the valley, I will have no fear, no fear. The mighty power of Jesus is fighting for me here. No fear, no fear. The light of the world makes the darkness disappear. No fear. No fear. No fear when I'm walking through the fire, 'cause I know who's walking me through. No fear when the flood waters rise, if I got my eyes on you. No fear, no fear. The mighty power of Jesus is fighting for me here. No fear, no fear. The light of the world makes the darkness disappear. No fear. No fear. God over my family, not over my future, not over my life. God's over my life, not over my battles, not over my struggles, not over my life. God's over my life, not over my family, not over my future, not over my life. God's over my life, not over my battles, not over my struggles, not over my life. God's over my life. Yeah. Though I walk through the valley, I will have no fear. The mighty power of Jesus is fighting for me here. No fear, no fear. The light of the world makes the darkness disappear. No fear. Over my life now, over my life now, over my life. No fear. Over my life now, over my life now, over my life. No fear. Over my life now, over my life now, over my life. No fear. Over my life now, over my life now, over my life.
Well, there's no question as to why that is on your faith playlist.
That's exactly right. No Fear by John Reddick has a strong message of courage, faith, and trusting God in the middle of frightening circumstances. The central message is not that Christians will never experience frightening circumstances. Rather, John Reddick emphasizes that Jesus is with us in the middle of them. So the song draws heavily on the imagery of Psalm 23. You know, the Lord's, all of a sudden my mind went blank. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, you know, that scripture, as well as Psalm 118, 6-7, which expresses profound confidence in God's presence and protection. The Lord is with me, I will not be afraid. What can mortals do to me? So that is the perspective of John Reddick as he sings No Fear. If God is for me, who can be against me? One of the most powerful ideas behind the song is Reddick's explanation. God doesn't necessarily help us avoid fear. He helps us move through it. That's a significant distinction. Faith doesn't always remove the fire. Sometimes faith gives us courage to walk through it. So I think it's probably a good time to go on a commercial break. What do you think, Dr. Jacalyn?
I think you read my mind. Phenomenal. Thank you so much. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
What happens when a carefree day changes everything in an instant? And how does a child find the strength to move forward when the person they love most is suddenly gone? In Joy Overcame Sorrow, Jerry L. Woodbridge tells a heartfelt and moving story about loss, grief, and the courage to heal. What begins as an ordinary afternoon for Joy and her best friend Bella takes a heartbreaking turn when Joy learns that her father has died in a tragic car accident. Faced with a loss no child should have to endure, Joy must navigate a world that suddenly feels unfamiliar and uncertain. Through tears, memories, friendship, and hope, she discovers that even in life's darkest moments, healing is possible and love never truly disappears. Discover Joy Overcame Sorrow by Jerry L. Woodbridge. Available now.
Welcome back to What's on Your Faith playlist. I'm really enjoying this pilot episode. And of course, as things happen with live TV, Dr. Jerry doesn't even know this, but YouTube has sent a message that because of copyright information, even though we are on the screen, that they interrupted the show, which is still continuing. But I think it means, Dr. Jerry, as I bring you back out, that we have to run less than a minute of the song.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. There we go. We just work in live TV and we just adapt. But that song was so powerful because if you think about it, first of all, I don't know if that's gospel music or not. I love that kind of music. It's like it gets you up out of your chair. You're like, yay, yay, yay. But we forget the message after the fact. So if we play the music over and over and over again, if we're not someone who's religious, we don't read the Bible, or maybe we don't attend services or whatever might be going on in your life, there is a message. And I think that's based on Psalm 23. Is that right?
It is. It is based on Psalm 23. And I think I also shared Psalm 118. So it's a great workout song because there's been times I'm riding my recumbent bike and I'll turn on the music, and man, if I play that song, I am pedaling to the putting the pedal to the metal. And so it is a great song.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. You know, one thing I was just thinking, just in reference to YouTube, it's kind of interesting because when you say the name of the artist and you say the name of the piece, that actually gives people an opportunity to go and download it and share it, and people might not have known about it. So it's kind of interesting that they have an issue with it when you recognize who the artist is.
Right, exactly. And that's my whole goal, is to promote the artist, the music, the Christian radio. That's the whole purpose behind the show, is
absolutely
developing song. Maybe we pick out songs, maybe there's songs that are not necessarily Christian, but they motivate you, they inspire you, so they actually do become part of your playlist,
absolutely,
whether it's faith or not.
I'm definitely getting that one on my workout list. I'll tell you that much for sure. But I know you have two others that you want to talk to us about. Tell us.
Okay. Well, I wanted to pick a music video, so we'll probably only be able to share a certain portion of the video. But I would definitely encourage you to go and look at the music video on YouTube. It's called Fires by Saint Cyr, CYR. And it's a song about personal struggles, that we all have in our life. So, and it was inspired by a man named Nathan, who was about to lose his home. And later, when Jordan's own daughter, that's the artist, when Jordan's own daughter faced a previous or a very serious medical crisis, the song suddenly became his personal testimony, called Fires. So what began as someone else's story became a song about how God is walking Jordan and his family through their own fire. So that's why we share. That's why we share our test, become our testimony, and that's why we share that. So the song isn't saying that Christians won't experience suffering. In fact, one of its most powerful ideas is essentially victory doesn't mean you never feel the heat. So instead, the message is that God walks with us through the fire of grief, suffering, adversity, and hope. And the imagery of walking through the fire has strong biblical resonance. So if you remember the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were three that chose not to worship the statue of the king, and he threatened to throw them in the fire. So when he threw these three strong believers into the fire, they were not harmed. They actually saw a fourth man walking with them.
Wow. Powerful.
So talk about a testimony.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to share it. And for anyone who's just joining us due to YouTube copyright violations, we are only going to play a minute. So unfortunately, but we'll enjoy the minute that we have.
I remember how you told me that life may not be easy, and everything that I need, you've already given me. I remember how you told me I can trust you completely. So why am I doubting when you prove that you'd fight for me? You've walked me through fires, pulled me from flames. If you're in this with me, I won't be afraid.
Wow, so powerful. And unfortunately, we have to stop there. But obviously, there's a story that's being told. So walk us through. We see
Yes.
a young man, and he finds, I think, what used to be a dictionary. And in the dictionary, there's a camera. Is that correct? No, it's a Bible. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say
It's a
anything
Bible.
more. It's a Bible. I thought they were like
That's okay.
tabs, like an encyclopedia.
Well, Bibles have tabs too to mark the books of the Bible. So, yes, the young man finds a Bible in an abandoned house, and he's taking it out and he's going to inspect it. So he opens it up and he sees that there's a camera inside. So the camera, or I think it's a Polaroid, is inside. And then he begins to walk around the neighborhood and take pictures. So you see the woman who is she's exhausted. She's working full time. She's going to school to be a nurse. And you see her put her head down on the steering wheel. She's just exhausted. And she steps out of the vehicle, and the young man takes a picture of her. And he walks around the neighborhood. He takes pictures of other situations, like a husband and wife are fighting, and it has to do with the husband has a drug addiction, and he takes a picture of them. And he goes throughout the neighborhood and takes pictures. And he brings them back to the old house. He hangs them up to let them dry, and then he's inspired to go and give the picture to the different people. So he goes to the nurse first, or the lady who's trying to be a nurse, and she opens up the door, and now she has her nursing outfit on, her little name tag and everything, and he hands her the picture. And that is a picture that, remember, he took a while ago. And she was working really hard to become a nurse, and now she is a nurse, and she's smiling. So that the camera represents how God sees each of us. He's put something in our hearts to say this is something he wants us to do, or that we feel called to do. This person felt called to be a nurse, and now she is one. So that camera comes from the Bible. This is how God sees us. He sees us as worthy because he's given us a calling or a purpose in our life. So if we don't give up and we're like that nurse and we just keep working and we keep, doing the things that we need to do to become that, we end up being successful. And then he gives a picture to the husband and wife, and they are happy. The man has recovered from his addiction and worked on his relationship with his wife. So they are now a happy couple. And that's what God can do. That's what the Word of God can do. It can redeem our minds and our hearts so that we can become who he's called us to be.
And again, we're sorry that we couldn't play the whole thing, but you can go over and find it on YouTube. And it's a beautiful journey. When I first met you, we watched that video without any problem, I might mention. And it was just so compelling that where we are at one point in our life is not where we have to stay. But when we believe in God and when we put our faith in God, that the journey can take us who knows where.
That's exactly right. Sometimes God gives us a song before we know we even need its message. And that takes us to our musical moment segment. Musical moments are those times where we need encouragement or inspiration. So the song that we're going to play for you is a very famous song. It was actually a great crossover song because it went into the mainstream music as well. Is I Can Only Imagine by Mercy Me. I'll tell you more when we come back.
I can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine. Yeah. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus, or in awe of you?
All right, there's a little teaser for our audience. Tell
That's
us
right.
more about this one.
Well, I love that line. Will I dance before you, Jesus? I plan to dance before him when it's my time to go. Um, this this was actually a song that was very powerful in my life even before circumstances occurred that I really drew strength from it. And it's a song about heaven. Um, the backstory behind Mercy Me was Bart Millard had a very abusive relationship with his father. His father was abusive, you know, emotionally abusive. You know, he threatened him. So he really struggled in his life because most of the time our relationship with God is based on our family relationship. And but Bart found peace and comfort with his relationship with God, and God knew that he needed to be restored to his father. So when Bart went out and left the home and started singing for the Lord, you know, and became famous, he didn't realize that his father was actually listening to his songs on the radio. And eventually, his father came to know the Lord, and he also received a cancer diagnosis. So Bart came back into his life, and they restored their relationship. And the father apologized to Bart on how he had been a terrible father. And Bart took care of him during his last days. So the relationship was restored, but you know, Bart still began to wonder. It took him, I think, 10 minutes to write this song. And it was after his father had died. And he began to wonder, I wonder what my dad's seeing right now in heaven. And that's what inspired the song. So the story behind the song is very powerful. We know that, you know, he had a complicated history with it. But the song was birthed, I Can Only Imagine. And actually, Amy Grant, if you've ever seen I Can Only Imagine the movie, Amy Grant this was going to be her comeback song. She had purchased it from Bart. And when she went to sing it, she started a few bars in, and the Lord told her, nope, bring up Bart. So when Bart sang this song in front of the whole audience, then they had their, Bart was able to bring Mercy Me, and they became an instant star in the Christian circles. So Bart wrote this song incredibly quickly, but the emotions behind it had been developing for years. So a lot of times music, our stories, that's the way it is. So
you've got an audience there who's happy to participate. So thank you for that. So Dr. Jerry, congratulations on a successful first episode. We have all of your links, including your website, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. How would you like people to contact you?
They can contact me via my website, drjerrylwoodbridge.com, or they can send me an email at drjlwoodbridge@gmail.com. And I would love to be able to speak, be able to share about my books, and also continue this work on USA Global TV as a TV host. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for being open and for jumping right in. I really do appreciate it. And thank you to YouTube and to all of the artists. We really appreciate and love your music. So Dr. Jerry, you will be back here again when?
Oh, it will be the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Dr. Jerry. I really appreciate you being here. And thank you so much to our audience for watching our pilot episode. And please do get the word out. Here is the show graphic, What's on My Faith playlist, here on USA Global TV and Radio, on both of our channels, USA Global TV and Radio and Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, as well as social media and short clips, and then uploaded to Spotify. So you can find this program as well as the rest of our programs. We really do appreciate it. And as we close out today, we're going to run Dr. Jerry's promo again so that you can have it etched in your mind when you're going through something really difficult and you want someone to help you. Please do reach out to Dr. Jerry. Here we go.
What happens when a carefree day changes everything in an instant? And how does a child find the strength to move forward when the person they love most is suddenly gone? In Joy Overcame Sorrow, Jerry L. Woodbridge tells a heartfelt and moving story about loss, grief, and the courage to heal. What begins as an ordinary afternoon for Joy and her best friend Bella takes a heartbreaking turn when Joy learns that her father has died in a tragic car accident. Faced with a loss no child should have to endure, Joy must navigate a world that suddenly feels unfamiliar and uncertain. Through tears, memories, friendship, and hope, she discovers that even in life's darkest moments, healing is possible and love never truly disappears. Discover Joy Overcame Sorrow by Jerry L. Woodbridge. Available now.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.